They say that love is blind, but for Mark, Sarah was the most radiant light he had ever encountered in his life. Sarah was a woman of breathtaking elegance, her smile capable of warming the coldest of rooms and capturing every heart around her. Their romance was a whirlwind of joy, leading them quickly to a beautiful wedding where they promised to stay together forever. For several years, their home was a sanctuary of happiness, filled with the simple, quiet moments that define a truly shared life. But life has a way of changing in an instant. While Mark was at the office, a single phone call shattered his world. A fire had broken out in their kitchen. The thick smoke and orange flames consumed the place they once called their safe haven. Sarah was rescued, but the physical price was high. In the sterile light of the hospital, she had to face her new reality. When she finally looked in a mirror, she didn't see the woman she once was. She saw only the scars and the pain. She wept for the beauty she lost, and she wept even more for the fear that Mark would no longer love her. Then came the second tragedy. Mark was involved in a car accident on his way to see her, an event that changed everything. When Mark finally returned home, he wasn't the same. He walked with a white cane, his eyes hidden behind dark glasses. He explained that the accident had taken his sight. He was blind, and he would never see the world again. Sarah stood in the hallway, frozen. She was heartbroken for his loss, but deep inside, she felt a shameful sense of relief. If Mark could not see, he would never have to look at her scars. He would only remember her as she was before. For the next 40 years, Sarah became Mark's eyes. She guided him through the world, and in doing so, she found herself again. They built a life on trust and touch, on the sound of voices and the warmth of a hand held tight in the dark. They grew old together, their love maturing like a fine wine, unaffected by the physical changes that time brought to them both. Sarah never felt beautiful to the world, but in Mark's presence, she felt like the queen she had always been to him. Eventually, the years caught up. Sarah's health began to fail, and the house grew quieter as her strength faded away. When the day came that Sarah finally passed away, the light in Mark's world seemed to vanish completely. He stood at her grave, a lonely figure in black, mourning the woman who had been his companion for a lifetime. Weeks later, Mark decided it was time to move on. He began packing the memories they had shared for decades. As he walked out of the front door for the final time, his neighbor, a kind old man, stopped him to say goodbye. The neighbor asked, "Mark, how will you manage? You're blind. And now your eyes, Sarah, are gone. Who will guide you?" Mark stopped. He took off his dark glasses and looked directly at the neighbor with eyes that were clear and full of life. "I was never blind," Mark admitted softly. "The accident didn't take my sight. I only pretended it did." He explained that he saw the fire's aftermath. He saw every scar on Sarah's face the moment he first visited her in the hospital. "I knew she would be ashamed if I could see her," he said. "I knew she would feel she had lost her worth in my eyes. So I chose to be blind. I chose to live in the dark so she could live in the light, feeling beautiful every single day." The neighbor was speechless. He realized that Mark's sacrifice was the ultimate testament to a love that transcends the physical. Mark had seen Sarah's scars for 40 years, but he had also seen her soul, and to him, she had never stopped being radiant. He drove away from the house, a man who had truly seen everything that mattered in life. True love isn't about what we see with our eyes, but what we feel with our hearts. It is a choice we make every day to see the beauty in those we cherish, regardless of the marks the world leaves behind.